Good morning, welcome in. Glad to have you today. Sports. Why do we love sports? What is a fan? That's one of the things we're going to be talking about today. Also, the NFL, the non-pass interference call in the NFC Championship game, the Super Bowl results, the NBA trade deadline, and much, much more. I'm joined today by the lovely Chrissy. How are you doing today, honey?
Doing good. Happy to be here.
Wonderful. To start out the show, let's talk about fans. What is a fan? A fan is somebody who follows a specific team. And why do they follow that team? Well, they love that team. They grew up watching that team. Their parents watched that team. So now they watch that team. And they love that team. And they almost love that team to a fault. So much so that they don't see the faults in the team. If something goes wrong, they're quick to dismiss it. They're quick to put up an excuse for it. What does that remind you of? The person that you love. The person that loves you. If you make a mistake, if you insult them, if you get in an argument, or if you do something you weren't supposed to do, do you get a divorce? Do you break up? No. You get a pass because they love you. And the same goes for you to them. And that's how a fan sees their team. You love your team to a fault. Patriots fans love their team to a fault. Through Spygate, Deflategate, and all sorts of other situations and controversies that have happened. So, why do we love our team so much that we're willing to look past the things that happen that probably are negative in the light of the rest of the fan base? Look at the Warriors. Everybody hates the Warriors. Why? Because they have a super team. But what's wrong with having a super team? Nothing really, except for there's not so much parity in the NBA. The NFL, if you look at it, everybody hates the Patriots. Why? Because they always win. But there's parity in the NFL. Every single year, there's a new team that does well and a new team that does bad. If you're in first place, you get the last pick. If you're in last place, you get the first pick. It tries to even out the league. Now, what does that have to do with a fan? A fan loves the sport because not only can they root for something, they can get away from something. Look at the world today. So much negativity. So many things going on in the world that we just would rather look the other way and not hear about because we just want to live our lives. And all the social justice and the political correctness is running rampant, and people just are getting tired of it. It's a story, yeah, it's being reported, yeah, and it sells, that's why it's being reported. But sports, for me, is an outlet. I can sit down on Sunday and watch a football game and enjoy the competition. I can get away from the normalcy and the reality of everyday life and all the stuff that they are spewing at us. I don't want to know about what Trump's doing every single second of the day on the news. I don't care. He's my president and I support him. I don't want him to fail. Doesn't mean I agree with everything he does. And the same goes for anybody else who's going to be in office. But sports is a getaway. It's something I can watch and enjoy with no strings attached. Okay, there's conspiracies in sports as well. But it pretty much polices itself. So, thank you, sports. Thank you for letting me enjoy you with no strings attached. I have my teams that I follow, and I can follow them to a fault, and I can love them to a fault because I can, because I'm free to do so, and so is every other fan who watches sports. So thank you, sports. Thank you very much. Let me segue to this. The NBA trade deadline is coming up, and there's been a lot of moves going on. Most of the sound in sports news has been surrounded by Anthony Davis rumors. What are these rumors about? Well, which team he's going to go to. And if you look at what the Pelicans are sitting around thinking about, wouldn't it be that, hey, the Lakers are offering us a king's ransom for Anthony Davis. Do we take it now and see what happens? Or do we wait till the off season for Boston to offer something? Because as of now, Kyrie Irving and Anthony Davis cannot be on the same team due to constricting rules with their contracts and the CBA. So, if I were the Pelicans, what I would do is I would either take this massive deal, which is a bunch of players, offload some bad contracts, and take the picks. Because in the off season, you can probably get a good deal from Boston, but look at this package. You're getting Kuzma, you're getting Ball, you're getting Ingram, Zubac, Contavious Caldwell-Pope, and Josh Hart. I mean, all those players are really, really good players. And think about it. If they all move from one team to the next, think of the camaraderie of those players playing together on a different team. Hey, the Lakers didn't want us. They traded us all for one player. Wouldn't that up your game? You know, in life, when you're told no and you're told you're not good enough, doesn't that make you want to get better? Doesn't that make you want to prove them wrong? Doesn't that give you a chip on your shoulder? It does for me. I'm an electrician. My first job as an electrician, I had a man who told me that I wasn't good enough, that I wasn't going to be an electrician, and that he knew because he could tell. It lit a fire underneath me. And I said, that's funny. And I went on to do a couple of side jobs before I found my next job as an electrician. And now I'm almost to my journeyman's license, and I just love it. It's so much fun. Like, I'm out there every single day doing a job that makes a difference. But would I be this good at my job if someone hadn't told me I couldn't do it? Probably not. Because that kind of made me mad. Because I thought I was doing a good job. And then someone told me I wasn't? Okay, well, let me just show you what I can do. And I think about that all the time. So these players, they're going to move. And if this trade doesn't get done today, Thursday, the trade deadline, that's okay because the Pelicans can wait till the off season. And in the off season, they'll get more offers, maybe better offers, and we'll see what happens. Now the Warriors are on a very, very good run right now. They've got 5 All-Stars in their starting lineup. You got Steph Curry at point guard. You got Klay Thompson at shooting guard. Kevin Durant, small forward. Draymond Green, power forward. And DeMarcus Cousins at center. I mean, this team is ridiculous. Every single player on that team can hit a 3. Albeit Draymond not all the time, not the highest percentage, but he can hit a 3. He's the defensive player of the year once. And DeMarcus Cousins, he's huge. Like, they haven't had this down-low presence before. And not to mention a down-low presence, he can step back out and hit the tray. It's amazing. How do you beat this team? You can't. Maybe 1 out of 7 times. So, I'm going to go ahead and give the Warriors the NBA championship right now. Congratulations, Golden State, on your 3rd in a row, your 4th in 5 years. That is impressive. And the future looks bright. Now, the offseason has some contracts that need to be re-upped or something to the way of getting a deal done, because Durant and Clay are going to be free agents. Do you have to choose between them, or can you sign them both? A lot of the rumors have been for the New York Knicks. They made that trade. They freed up a bunch of cap space, and a lot of people are talking about Kyrie Irving and Durant playing together in New York. And with all the news surrounding Kyrie and what he said about not owing Boston anything, I could see that happening. Now, just last night after the Warriors beat the Spurs by almost 40 points, in the press conference, Kevin Durant was a little bit angry about some of the free agency questions. He says he just wants to play basketball, and he told the media to grow up. Well, part of your job is to address the media. I mean, it's probably in your contract, as Chris Carter said. Now, whether he goes to New York or not, we'll find out. But what I'm hearing is that Kevin Durant really likes Golden State. And if you look at it, Golden State's a perfect fit. He doesn't have to do it all, even though he can. And he's out there scoring 30 points a night, close to it, with Curry on the side. I mean, come on. They can score with the best of them. And if you look at their three-point performance this year, they're hitting them non-stop. The Warriors are great, and they're going to continue to keep winning. Now, after that press conference last night, it makes you wonder, is there really something behind it? And he hasn't talked for a while, probably since the Porzingis trade. So what's he so mad about? Like, really, dude? Come on. Just answer the question. Be cordial about it. You don't have to be insulted or defensive. The job of the media person is to ask questions. So they have to, what do they have to tiptoe around every question they ask you because it might upset you? They have to walk on eggshells with their words? I don't think so. Thank you, folks, for listening to my podcast. I'm Jack Fry, and please continue to listen to me. I'm going to try to get a new story out to you every morning and maybe every afternoon. And once a week, I'd also like to have a guest on. Right now, I'm looking for fans of every team so I can interview you and you can tell your story. Thanks again for listening to my podcast. I'm out.